On the news, Nigeria's tax reform bills reach conclusion stage at the Senate. House of Representatives advocates cancer treatment subsidies. House of Representatives seeks clarifications on implementation of student loan scheme. Plus, Edo Assembly Speaker informs lawmakers of his defection. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Ene Ojonugba. The news begins as the Nigerian tax reform bills are at the conclusion stage of legislation as Senate passes 2 of the 4 bills. The 4 tax reform bills have already been passed by the House of Representatives but had to await concurrence of the Senate. Here is National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali with details.
A bill for an act to provide for the assessment, collection of, and accounting for revenue accruing to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the states and local governments prescribe the powers and functions of tax authorities and for related matters, third reading taken.
The legislative journey of the 4 tax reform bills meant to modernize and make more efficient the tax system in Nigeria began in October 2024 at the National Assembly. It was the brainchild of President Bola Tinubu administration and incubated by the Fiscal and Tax Reform Team, finally coming to life after extensive engagements with stakeholders.
The committee also in its wisdom sat with all, had a very robust public hearing and got to where we are now. And thank God all these areas have been, resolved. That's why this is a bit of democracy.
The report of the Senate Committee on Finance highlighted objectives of the tax reforms with a new breakdown of the value-added tax, which over time has been the issue of contention.
The basis of sharing this VAT, which is one of the major issues of this bill.
We all agreed that VAT will be shared based on consumption.
During the clause-by-clause consideration of the Joint Revenue Board Bill and the Nigeria Revenue Service Bill, lawmakers made observations and amendments with regards to appointments, administration and jurisdiction, some of which were adopted.
A warrant issued by the Executive Vice Chairman, approved by the Minister, is also subjected to another approval by the National Assembly. That will cause a lot of delay.
Any act or thing done by the service or the board under any of the laws referred to in sub-clause 2 shall not be subject to challenge. It's draconian and obnoxious.
It's draconian, obnoxious, and self-serving.
Yes, sir. 89 up to clause 93. Whether we can establish state internal revenue services for states with their functions, with their management, structures for state revenue services. Can we, under the Constitution, Mr. Chairman, I have my concern?
We cannot.
The Red Chamber has scheduled Thursday, 8 May 2025, for the passage of the Nigeria Tax Administration and the Nigeria Tax Bills, announcing that should there be differences in the bills passed by the House of Representatives, a conference committee would be set up to harmonize and transmit same to the President for assent. In another development, Senator representing Kano South, Senator Kawu Sumaila, has defected from the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, to the All Progressives Congress. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
A ray of hope for cancer patients might just be in the horizon as the House of Representatives passes a resolution seeking a financial lifeline for many Nigerians struggling with cancer in form of subsidies for treatments. The House is urging the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to make cancer screening free nationwide as a crucial step towards detecting the disease early when it is most treatable. Let's go over now to National Assembly correspondent Metari Ikpen for details of these and other parliamentary engagements.
A motion by Representative Aderemi Oseni draws attention to the fact that the cost of cancer treatment is skyrocketing and the financial burden is heavy on low-income families with cancer patients. By advocating free cancer screening and subsidized treatment, the House hopes to give such families a chance at combating cancer.
The rising burden of cancer is causing a shortage of funding for cancer control, with public financing being considered the most appropriate to ameliorate the suffering of patients with cancer.
Mandate the Committee on Healthcare Services, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and other relevant agencies, to establish a mechanism for the federal government to provide subsidies for cancer treatments.
Talking about treatment here, I want to add the prayer that federal government should make screening free.
Another resolution sought military action against resurgence of banditry in Baruten Kayama Federal Constituency of Kwara State.
In recent time, certain group of people armed with all manners of dangerous and sophisticated weapons converge in the forest in the constituency, disrupting people from farming, establishing their own government, collecting revenues from people, killing people at will.
Meanwhile, at a public hearing on the bill for an act to establish the National Institute for Film and Media Technology, UKAWU, lawmakers are targeting an expansion of the creative sector.
With the population of the country, only one film institute is grossly inadequate.
The creative sector is the second largest employer of labor in the country and has the potential to create an additional 2.7 million jobs by 2025.
There is optimism that the progress of the bill would enhance prospects for job creation. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has vowed to ensure accountability and prudence in the implementation of the student loan scheme of the federal government to Nigerian citizens. Chairman House Committee on Student Loans, Scholarship and Higher Education, Financing, Ifeoluwa Ehindero, stated this while seeking clarifications from NEL Fund on its activities. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed has more.
The President Bola Tinubu administration introduced the administration of student loan scheme to ease studies, especially for the indigent. Chairman and members of the committee said, sparkled by the information making rounds on the social media on diversion of funds meant for the scheme, necessitated the need for clarifications by the agency.
Based on this, you have been invited to make clarifications and enlighten this committee on the issues that have been going on the disbursement and administration of the student loans being administered by your agency.
The Managing Director, National Education Loan Fund, notes that in recognition of the importance of the policy thrust of President Bola Tinubu administration and the obligation to students in Nigeria, it behoves on the agency to clarify the alleged irregularities and diversion of funds in the implementation of the scheme by the ICPC.
We have worked very hard to put out the narrative that actually the new statement by the ICPC vindicates NEL Fund and establishes the fact that no funds have been diverted.
He further explains all records on financial transactions by the agency and funds received from CBN, EFCC, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and TED Fund, as well as amount released and spent, with the number of institutions and students benefited are all captured for reference purposes. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
A 3-day workshop for members and management staff of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has been held in Abuja with a theme, Ethics, Privileges, Practice and Procedures for Effective Legislative Performance. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, organized the workshop as a strategic opportunity to bridge existing gaps and build capacity of lawmakers in their quest to fulfill their mandates more effectively. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ungunjide has details.
The theme focuses on the committees on ethics and privileges, as well as business and rules, as a reflection of a deep understanding of the vital role these committees play in upholding the integrity, order, and efficiency of legislative work. As custodians of legislative discipline, integrity, internal practice, and procedure, the committees are the pillars that ensure that legislative work is conducted in line with laid-down procedure and ethical standards.
The topic for this workshop, as outlined by the Right Honourable Speaker, were carefully selected and are central to the overall performance of any legislature. A firm grasp of standing orders, for instance, enable members to navigate debates, motions, and other legislative procedure effectively. Understanding the scope and limit of legislative privileges help protect the sanctity of the institution while avoiding abuses. Likewise, oversight and committee management are fundamental to ensuring accountability and transparency in governance.
Thematic areas selected for the training consist of parliamentary business and the legislative process, including personal etiquette, promoting legislative-executive relations, bill process and analysis, with a focus on judicial review of legislation. Others include promoting legislative-executive relations for sustainable development, budget and the appropriation process in the legislature, issues, challenges and prospects.
NILS is where you have the people that give you the right background, the right things that you need to go and do in your state. That's why we are here. So we are here to build capacity on the members so that as they are going back, they can legislate very well. They can do very well in their different areas of our community.
There is no doubt that the legislature remains the fulcrum of democracy, as its strength lies in its processes, credibility, ethical practice and adherence to due process. In Abuja, Joshua Oguchide, ET News.
Edo State Assembly Speaker says his defection to the APC is to sustain his speakership seat for the benefit of his constituents. Details of these and other reports from state houses of assembly will come shortly after this short message.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the marketing department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You are watching Parliamentary News, reaching you from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. You can also follow us via the platforms showing on the screen for more updates. Welcome back. The Speaker, Edo State House of Assembly, says his defection to the APC is to sustain the speakership seat for the benefit of his constituents. This was when he officially informed the lawmakers of his defection from the PDP to the APC. Abehi Otobo Apresai tells us more.
This Wednesday plenary session was the first official assignment of the Speaker after his defection to the APC. He promptly declared his allegiance to his new political party, the All Progressives Congress, citing obligation to the will and welfare of his people and constituents as the major motivation for his political decision. He urged the House to remain united in the pursuit for purposeful leadership.
For me, it's not about the party, it's about the events of the area. As a speaker, if I throw away these positions of the party, position that will enhance development in the area, that peace, and work with our people. On that note, took that position. I think to evaluate and people have some of the projects the governor has given to Nigeria. The people of our West are very happy about it. So, that led to that decision. Politics is all about interest, not partnership.
The majority leader and other lawmakers expressed their approval and support for the Speaker's decision. They said the main goal is to push forward the vision and mission of the state governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo.
The party is a very vision for one point or another to achieve your objective. The intention to come to the MPC is to join us all to see that mission and vision of Mr. Governor, District Senator Monday Okpebholo is achieved even before you came. Doing that for us. I think you're coming and make everything very, very easy.
We need the collaboration of everybody coming together to do the work as to moving the state forward. The issue is not the party you present. The issue is not what the tax is, but the benefit that's going to accrue to us by that oneness is very fundamental.
The Speaker and two other lawmakers, the member representing Akoko Edo 1, Yekini Idiaye, and Sunday Egberemonle, defected this Tuesday, bringing the APC lawmakers in the Edo State House of Assembly to 18, while the PDP retains 6 seats. In Benin, Obehi Otuba Presai, NT News.
In another development, the Zamfara State House of Assembly has successfully passed 43 bills since inception, reaffirming its status as the sole legislative body in the state. Speaker Biliaminu Ismail Moriki made the statement during a press briefing on the achievements made and challenges faced by the 7th Assembly since its inauguration. Bello Sani completes the report.
Since its inauguration in June 2023, the 7th Zamfara State Assembly has recorded a tenure marked by significant legislative accomplishment and notable political challenges. While briefing newsmen on the major achievements and challenges of the Assembly, Speaker Biliamin Ismail Moriki noted that within the period under review, the Assembly passed 43 people-oriented bills, notably among them are the Zamfara State Community Protection Guard Law, the Zamfara State Security Trust Fund Law, the Zamfara State Consolidated Revenue Law, and the Zamfara State Procurement Law, among others.
This bill underwent through legislative processes, including public hearing, to ensure that they truly reflect the need and interest of the people.
Moriki also pointed out that the House passed several resolutions sponsored by individual members, drawing the attention of the state government to embark on critical projects and implement programs aimed at improving the welfare of the citizens.
To ensure prudent management of state resources, the Honorable House undertook intensive oversight following the passage and assent of the 2024 and 2025 appropriation bill. This effort have fostered greater transparency and accountability across ministries, departments, and agencies.
He furthermore reiterated the Assembly's stance as the sole constitutional recognized legislative authority in Zamfara State, stressing that attempts to distract the House from its constitutional responsibilities will not succeed.
As public servants, our primary obligation is to uphold a peaceful and stable environment that facilitates effective law-making, oversight, and representation. Regrettably, few members sought to disrupt the constitutional function of the House for personal gain.
He also commended Governor Dauda Lawal for his achievements across various sectors, emphasizing that the continuous collaboration between the executive and legislative arms of government is essential to sustaining the state's development. Ingusau Bello Sani, NTA News.
The Lagos State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointments of the nominees presented by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu into various agencies and commissions in the state. Musa Toiliat reports that the legislators also adopted a resolution to seek compensation for communities affected by government land acquisition in Epe local government area in Lagos State.
The nominees were screened by a 12-man ad hoc committee constituted by the Speaker and chaired by the Chief Whip, Honorable Majid Fatai Adebola, to ascertain their eligibility and competence for the respective positions. The report of the screening ad hoc committee was presented at the Committee of the Whole.
The ad hoc committee adopted direct interface, which the nominees and directed the Secretariat to request that each nominee furnish the committee with the document as applicable to each nominee.
Thereafter, the lawmakers adopted the report of the committee and the nominees were due for confirmation.
1 to Section 8, Subsection 1 of Lagos State Electricity Commission Law 2024. This has the hereby confirmed appointment of Dr. Anima Sham Fuad Olayinka.
A new member of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASIEC, was confirmed. For the membership of the Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission, a non-executive chairman and 4 others were confirmed. 5 members of the Lagos State Civil Service Commission were also cleared. For the office of the Public Defender OPD Governing Council, 2 members were reappointed for another term of 4 years.
Mr. Clark, kindly direct the confirmations of the nominee to Mr. Governor.
In a related development, the House adopted recommendations of the Committee on Rules and Business on a petition titled Application by Oriba Community in Epe Local Government to join in the petition of Ladaba Community, which was presented by Honorable Naim Adams.
Lands Bureau should issue the letters of accession allocation to the 68 communities whose lands were acquired by the state government within 2 weeks after the receipt of resolution of the House. The certificate of occupancy should be ready within 1 month upon receipt of the resolution of the House.
The presentation elicited contributions from the legislators.
The chairman must follow them to the letter to make sure that they observe and the resolution of the House is strictly adhered to. The certificate of occupancy should be given to them, otherwise land grabbers will take it away from them. So I just want to plead with the Right Honourable Speaker that the chairman of the committee, even if possible, they should submit that document to the chairman of the committee so that he can present it to the family.
I'm really not very happy with the fact that people, when the state acquires land, the people need to resort to having to come and seek refuge in the House of Assembly before their right is given to them.
I want to emphasize what he has stated, that we invite the Land Bureau and other officials of the Secretary General Office and probably gives an allotted date where all lands matters can be treated in the House and we find a lasting solution.
Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly Mudashiru Obasa supported the committee's recommendation that Oriba community and 67 other affected communities be compensated.
If you are taking lands away, which is supposed to be inheritance of the family, it's like throwing them into poverty because it's supposed to be source of revenue, source of achievement and benefit to the family. But taking it away from them without compensation is like expanding cost of poverty. Like we are throwing them or pushing them into poverty the more. And somehow it still come back to the government.
The legislators subsequently adopted recommendations of the committee as resolution of the House as amended. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Kaduna State's House of Assembly has repealed the Kaduna State Polytechnic Edict of 1989 and the laws of Kaduna State 1991, replacing them with Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic Law 2025. The bill, sponsored by Emmanuel Bako Kantiok, who represents the Zongwa constituency, says the newly enacted law will enhance administrative efficiency and promote academic excellence at the institution. Adamu Sunday reports.
Following the presentation by the chairman of the Joint Committee on Education and Judiciary, members of the House engaged in a debate, offering suggestions aimed at enriching the bill and ensuring it meets the educational and administrative needs of the Polytechnic.
The Kaduna State Polytechnic Edict 1989 of Kaduna State 1991
to enact the new Beverly Polytechnic Law 2025 is hereby passed into law.
There are some areas of amendment in the bill to reflect the present reality in the education sector. There is new modern changes of the offices. The office of the rector is now 5 single time of 5 years. Also that of the registrar, the other academic senior management staff of the Polytechnic. It landed the modern system of Polytechnic rules. Also, there are some areas of changing the name. You know, once you change the name, there must be a law that will back that change of name. It's also one of the reasons for the amendment of the bill.
People who have graduated, carrying the certificates of the family, but there is no law to back it. What we have done now is to legalize those documents, so that if you have a certificate of the family, you are now covered by law. And the assurance that better services will be rendered by the institution, because the management structure has been enhanced. The caliber of people that will be engaged by the institution are spelled out in the law, and their tenure is secured.
In other legislative developments, a bill to amend the Customary Course Law No. 9 of 2021, as well as a bill to establish the Kaduna State House of Assembly Service Commission and for other related matters 2025, have been forwarded to the relevant committees for further review and scrutiny. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
This is where we draw the curtain on parliamentary news for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on the platforms showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Ene Ojonugba. Bye for now.